If you have properties in Birmingham and you want a method or a strategy to get sustainable income with these properties, then potentially this tender right here may be the one to do that for you. Not every tender is ideal for your business. Market engagement events help you to influence the council. So this is the temporary accommodation tender, which is an open framework being run right now in Birmingham City Council. The purpose of this particular open framework, which by the way is staying open until September 2026, depending when you're watching this, that's the agreed timeline. If you have solutions according to this framework, which is the temporary accommodation framework for private rented solutions and solutions through private registered providers, solutions being accommodation, of course, and support for the individuals. But again, these solutions here could either be 1 bedrooms up to 6 bedrooms or even more. But if you can provide these bedrooms within Birmingham City Council, which again is the aim to support individuals who are homeless or at risk of homelessness. Individuals could be single people here. It could also be families who are presenting themselves as homeless. It could be pregnant women. It could be families with children, but the list goes on. The aim here, again, like I said, is to provide immediate solutions through providing housing for these individuals and potentially families as well. Again, if you're a housing provider, you have potentially properties in Birmingham or maybe other areas, or you can facilitate getting properties and housing solutions in Birmingham, then this might be an opportunity for you to listen to, because we're going to cover the criteria here, which you need to meet in order to be a supplier on this framework. But let's start, first of all, most importantly, with exactly what requirement is for the property itself, so for the accommodation itself. Now, as we can see, the need here is for self-contained residential properties from 1 to 6 bedrooms. So this could be flats and houses. These properties need to meet the property and furnishing standards. Now, even if we go down to exactly what services supplies are required, because this will help us understand exactly more about what types of property is and what services as well. But you should also do your own due diligence and check the files so you understand exactly what the specification of the property is. But self-contained from 1 to 6 bedrooms should give you a fairly good idea. In terms of the service required here, so this is property management. So you're responsible for the management of properties, lettings attendance, furnishing to the contract standards. You're responsible for the repairs and maintenance, especially on emergency to routine as well. So any routine checks, but also emergency ones as well. You need to conduct monthly inspections, safeguarding referrals, performance reporting, and residence welfare management. Again, because the individuals will also need some support from yourself, as opposed to just the housing alone. It's housing solutions. So you need to, again, provide them with welfare management or any support they will need. So that should give us a good idea in terms of what standard the property is required, or what standard the property needs to be. In terms of the location of the property, so understand that a lot of you might have properties outside of Birmingham, maybe still in Midlands, but it might be outside of Birmingham. So you need to understand exactly if you can utilize these properties as well. To understand this, we're going to look at the question, can accommodation be outside the borough? So the answer is yes, but no more than 1 hour from Birmingham city centre by public transport. In-city placement is strongly preferred to preserve support networks. So again, these individuals may already have a network of friends, families within the area. So ideally, these property solutions need to be within Birmingham. But again, there is a stipulation or a particular, they've given a bar or a range of an hour drive through public transport away from Birmingham. So that should give you an idea of, depending on when your property is, can it be reachable, or is it reachable through public transport within an hour? Now, let's get on to exactly what the pricing is, because you do need to understand what rates are offered here to make it viable, for a viable opportunity for you, irrespective of what the standard property is. If your property meets the standards, you need to first of all understand what the rates are. Now, bear in mind that there are 2 lots here. So lot 1 is the direct award, which essentially is reletting properties again. If you're already on the previous DPS or previous tender, which is now closed, you simply need to relet it back to them again on lot 1. But lot 2 is going to be for the majority of providers who are new, who have new properties or new providers on this tender. So if that is you, understand what the rate is. So according to this particular tender, for a 1 bed, you'd be getting up to £193.38 per week. For a 6 bed, that is £469.92 per week. With a license, that is one license is 1 bed, £179 per week, to 6 bed, which is £435 per week again. The rates are council set, and these are fixed rates. So again, this will give you an idea that if this is going to be negotiable or not. So this is a fixed rate. As long as you have a 1 bedroom, 3, 4, 5, or 6 bedroom, you can understand when you get these referrals, when you speak to the council, the rate is set. So this gives you an idea from 1 bed and 6 bed exactly if this is a viable opportunity for you or not. You also need to understand about the insurance requirements as well, because your property needs to have the relevant insurances. For example, here you need to have a landlord's insurance, right? And that insurance needs to cover the property to be utilized for buy-to-let, and it needs to not exclude any tenant type, because again, on this tender, there may be various types of tenants who may be dealing or struggling with homelessness. Then we can go into the financial requirements. Now, getting on a tender or being a supplier for these sort of services will typically have financial requirements. You need to pass the financial standing test, so to speak. On this one, the average annual turnover for the last 2 years must be more than £200,000, which is twice the £100,000 estimated annual value. So your business needs to be making at least £200,000 over the past 2 years on average. So if you're not doing that, you need to utilize what other alternatives there are where you can provide or basically demonstrate your financial health. In terms of the other pass and fail requirements, as every tenant will normally have, ensure that your tax compliance, your data protections are in order, your cyber security and cyber essentials or equivalent is needed as well, and health and safety policies, safeguarding policies, and all the required policies are up to date, meets the standard required here. So this isn't just a simple case of having a property. As you can see, there are different requirements here as well. The property type, you need to consider the rates as well. You need to consider exactly if you have the relevant insurance as well to utilize your property for this service as well as that there are also financial requirements you need to make sure you have. The link for this particular tender on our platform has been set there as well. So through that link, you can see the entire criteria. You can also download the files, and most importantly, you can also access the bid submission portal, which is the portal the council use for you to actually submit your bid, should you decide to bid for the tender or not. If you've got any particular questions on this tender that I haven't answered here, because to be honest, there are a lot of questions not answered here, simply leave a comment. We're going to respond to you as well. If you have any other types of tenders or areas you'd like me to cover for this particular type of tender as well, also leave a comment. Other than that, we'd appreciate a like, because it lets us know that you understand and you actually value these sort of videos as well. Thank you.